agent who sent anti-Trump text messages and others during the 2016 presidential election to his then lover and former FBI lawyer, Lisa Page. Peter Strzok worked on Hillary Clinton's email investigation and later the special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. But once word of the text messages got out, Mueller immediately removed him from his team. President Trump has repeatedly slammed Peter Strzok on Twitter, pointing to the agent as a reason not to trust what he calls the, quote, rigged witch hunt investigation. During a congressional hearing last month, Peter Strzok argued that there was no evidence of any bias in his professional actions. The chief intelligence correspondent Catherine Herridge live, Alexandria, Virginia, just outside D.C. What's the response from Strzok's team?
Okay, so we got a statement earlier today from Peter Strzok's attorney, and he confirmed a lot of details about his client's termination. He said Strzok was fired on Friday afternoon by the deputy director of the FBI, and the attorney alleged that the deputy director overruled the recommendation of the FBI's internal ethics panel that had recommended a 60-day suspension and a further demotion of Agent Strzok. Part of that statement reads, the decision to fire Special Agent Strzok is not only a departure from typical Bureau practice, but also contradicts Director Wray's, so that's FBI Director Christopher Wray's testimony to Congress and his assurances that the FBI intended to follow its regular process in this and all personnel matters. This decision should be deeply troubling to all Americans. It's important to note that at the Aspen Security Forum in July, the FBI Director specifically said that he felt the Bureau got into trouble in 2016 under Director Comey because they were not following the procedures and the processes to the letter. Let's listen.
There's a pending personnel matter, and as I said, I want to make sure that we're doing things, following our process, doing things by the book. Our Inspector General report has referred a number of individuals to our disciplinary process, and I think it's very, very important that we let that process, without delay, work itself through and get to a result, as opposed to responding to hue and cry.
We heard from one analyst today who suggested, so this is simply their analysis, that the FBI fired Peter Strzok because more information may come to light that suggests that there will be further action in his case. Remember, the Deputy Director Andrew McCabe was fired for lying to federal agents about his media contacts in 2016, and that could lead to a criminal prosecution. And pardon me for the noise behind me, but they must have turned up the fountain chef just for our hit.
Well, that's very nice of them. Hey, regarding all of this, what's the reaction across the district?
Okay, so the FBI has declined to comment on Strzok's termination, and that's pretty standard because they do not comment on personnel matters. But as you would expect, the president took to Twitter within an hour that this information was confirmed. And one reads in part, just fired Agent Strzok, formerly of the FBI, was in charge of a crooked Hillary Clinton sham investigation. It was a total fraud on the American public and should be properly redone. So in his tweet, the president is making this connection between Strzok, who was on the email case, and Strzok was on the Russia case, saying they really ought to reopen or re-look at the work that he did back in 2015 and 2016, Chef.
Catherine Herridge, Alexandria, Virginia.